We're here at Outdoor Retailer 2010 in Salt Lake City. We've got Charles from Benchmade, and we asked him a question about the blade steels because we get a question a lot about, you know, what makes a knife higher quality, and how do the costs determine on a knife blade?
For some cargo capris.
So this is a mix of different blade steels that we use, and you know, determining the cost of a blade. You know, the first thing that we look at is we look at, you know, what are we trying to achieve here with this knife, and Benchmade's always been a company that we don't look at the overall cost, saying, well, we want this knife to be X amount of dollars. We look at building a quality knife, and it so happens to be a $200 knife. It's a $200 knife. I'm sure everyone will agree when it comes to knives, you know, you get what you pay for. And these are some of the different blade steels that we use. On the Shane Siebert 755, we use a blade steel called M390. M390 is one of the most abrasive and on the top of our list in terms of edge retention. It's a very durable steel. It's a steel that was developed for injection molds. It's designed to hold a very good edge, and it's a very high-end blade steel. Another thing to consider too when you're looking at some of the blade steels in relation to the cost of the knife is the actual cost of the blade steel. A lot of these blade steels can range anywhere from $5 a pound to $20 a pound, depending on the production and quality of that steel. CPM M4 is one of those blade steels that always tends to carry a high premium in terms of price. We use CPM M4 on a few of our models. This particular model here we use it on. CPM M4 is a carbon steel, so you're only going to see it with a coated blade in our lineup. It's designed with a lot of vanadium, and it's designed to be extremely wear resistant. It's a high-speed steel, so you're talking about a blade steel that's designed to cut other steels. So when you're looking at it in that fashion, it's definitely one of those blade steels you're going to take out and beat the heck out of it and not worry about it chipping and all that. D2 is another excellent blade steel. It's one of my personal favorites. D2 is what's known as a semi-stainless blade steel because it's not quite stainless steel. It's right underneath the amount of chromium that's needed to be considered a stainless steel. But in terms of our lineup, it's one of our upper-end blade steels in terms of holding an edge, in terms of durability. My personal choice out of the blade steels that we have is D2 because of that mix of edge holding capability and toughness, which is something you don't generally find with most steels. So I generally tend to recommend that D2 for guys that are going to take it out, they're going to abuse it, they're going to use it for you know, outside of the parameters that it's pretty much designed for. S30V is a pretty unique steel because it's one of the first steels ever developed for the knife industry. The unique factor with 95% of all the blade materials and materials that we use, G10, carbon fiber, a lot of these unique materials are not designed for the knife industry. They're designed for other applications, aerospace, industrial. So what we do is we pull these premium materials from other industries and we use them on our knives to give it that quality and longevity. And S30V is a unique steel because it's the first steel ever developed for the knife industry. It's a pretty clean steel. It utilizes the CPM process, which is a powdered metal process that Crucible uses. It results in a very clean, very uniform carbide steel, allowing you to put a very keen edge on there, and also capable of holding a very good edge as well. 154 CM is kind of an old favorite in the Benchmade lineup. We probably use 154 CM the most in terms of our blade steels. But another excellent blade steel, U.S. made, tool steel, very similar to basically a modified 440C with a higher carbon and chromium content, but a very excellent blade steel when it comes to toughness and edge retention. N690 is another new steel that we're using on our knives, and it's unique in the aspect that it's a steel, but it's designed to not rust. Which is very unique when you talk about blade steels. N690 is a steel that's used on our river knives and all the water knives that we have in our lineup, and is designed to be extremely corrosion resistant. Also holds a pretty good edge, and it's fairly easy to put an edge back on. What you'll find with basically all the knives or blade steels that we use here at Benchmade is we use the top of the line blade steels. You buy a Benchmade knife, you're getting, you're getting exactly what you pay for. You're getting a high quality knife, you're getting high quality U.S. production, you're getting premium materials, and you're getting something that's going to last you a lifetime. So it really, it's not a huge difference between all the different blade steels. The difference really is the application, and that's generally when we talk to people about buying a knife and choosing a blade steel. It generally boils down to the application, and generally what you'll find with all the blade steels that we use, they're all going to hold a very good edge. The difference is one tougher than the other.
That's exactly the kind of information we're looking for. It sounds like because you're buying tool steel or steel that's made for other industries, that you're probably in competition with those industries, because these aren't dime a dozen type of steels.
Right. So we're pulling steels from companies like Crucible that really cater to the industrial application, industrial use. But I think the knife industry has made a big enough impact on these steel companies, particularly Crucible and some of the other steel companies, that we are a factor now, that they do cater to us now, whereas years past we had to use blade steels like ATS-34 that was made by Hitachi, because they were the only company that were catering to the blade steels and thicknesses and sizes that the knife companies needed.
In other words, if they're going to use a high-end steel, they're going to make it thick enough, like you say, for something that they're going to use injection molding. They're not going to use sheets of it. So there's not the incentive for the company making the steel to make it in sheets,
right,
unless you can create that demand.
Because we're not doing the volume that those other industries are doing, and I think it just shows the growth that the knife industry has had, that the steel companies are willing to really cater to us now versus years past where we were kind of a speck on the radar. So,
and it sounds like then we're actually getting a bargain when we work with Benchmade, because you're able to leverage your reputation and your resources to bring us these steels a lot cheaper than we might have if, for example, we were to try to go out in the market and buy these ourselves.
Sure. And a lot of these steels, M390, CPM M4, D2, a lot of these are very upper end tool steels that demand a premium in the marketplace. So when you look at a knife like this that's in the $230 range, you're looking at the overall materials that's being used. For one, you're looking at the blade steel, you're looking at the titanium handle, the machine G10. You're also looking at the engineering. I think that's a part of our production that's very much overlooked. The engineering that actually goes into manufacturing a knife.
Right, you're not just going to the cheapest labor you can find and you're making the tool last forever. You're using the top of the line resources.
So, but the key really with all the blade steels, in terms of what you're going to find in the Benchmade lineup, is we only use premium blade steels. Everything you buy from us in terms of the blade steels and whatnot is going to be on that upper end in terms of holding an edge. The difference is going to be in the toughness. Some blade steels are tougher than others. D2 and CPM M4, M390 are going to be tougher blade steels than some of the other blade steels like S30V. So it really depends on just where your level of your level of use is at in terms of what you're using that knife for.
Awesome. Again, thank you very much. I think this is going to be a great resource for people making a purchase decision.
Excellent.
Thanks.